Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us.
No, I'm very good with.
Welcome, friends, to 20 Crazy Questions with Caitlin Mae. We're back.
You nearly get a really stupid comment there because I was like, and all I heard recording in progress. Don't say a word. We're doing here. Okay, 20 crazy questions. Let's start this off nice and easy, shall we? Do you sleep with your door open or closed?
Okay, so that's hard because it's changed a lot recently, but I used to always sleep with my door open and the landing light on. I just always felt like I was going to get murdered if the light was off and the door was closed. It didn't feel right. And so I moved to Nashville. I'm in an apartment now, and I don't have a bedroom door, so I don't have a choice. The door is open. And I have a cowboy boot nightlight. Instead of leaving an actual light on, I have a cowboy boot that is a comfort, warm glow for me.
That's awesome. That is
cool.
awesome. They had them at Disneyland Paris because we stayed at the Woody Hotel and they had cowboy boiler.
I've seen so that actually came with the apartment. I didn't buy it. Whoever lived there before obviously felt the same way that I do about needing some support, whether it's from a cowboy boot or a landing light. They obviously felt the same, so I felt a little bit better about that. But I've been playing a lot at the Nashville flea market, and they always have different stalls, and I've seen a lot of lights that are very creative like that, and I love them. They're so cool.
That is very cool. I love that.
So if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Somebody asked me this not long ago, and they said my original answer was not allowed. So I said my superpower would be to rotate powers. So whatever power I needed in the moment would be my power. They said that was not allowed. I don't see why that's not allowed.
I like
best
because now I
superpower
could fly. Then you could like read someone's mind.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't only. I want you know. I want it to be
It's
never
going to be a
ending.
superpower. It's going to be a good superpower. And that's an awesome
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. That's a perfect idea. Okay, if you're having a bad day, what is your go-to feel-good TV show or film?
Well, there was this one movie that I watched when I was sick one year, and this was a few years ago. Um, I guess it was around Christmas time, but it was like November maybe. And my mum, anytime any of us are sick, my mum would always stay up with us if we can't go to sleep, and we went downstairs and we sat, and she kind of dozed next to me on the sofa in case I needed anything, and I put on a movie called Holiday, which was new at the time. It had just come out. It was the first time I'd ever watched it, and it became a comfort film just because it reminded me of how safe I felt in the moment, just like wrapped up in a blanket. Even though I wasn't feeling well, my mum made sure I had everything I needed. So medication, but she'll always make sure you have a snack with that. And it just felt very safe and very nurturing. And obviously now being in Nashville, if I'm sick, it's just like, well, figure it out or die. Those are the options. So I tried to think, oh, what would my mum do? She's 4,000 miles away.
Oh, I love
And if
that.
I die, she'll kill me.
You're gonna die. Not dramatic or anything. Just I'm gonna die.
That's my life now. Figure it out or die. So put on Holiday, whatever time of the year it is. It makes me feel like it's about to be Christmas, and I'm gonna make it through.
I just love how dramatic that is. It's so funny. Make it through or die.
So this leads to the great next question here. Because
Yeah.
what's a skill you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet?
Oh my gosh, there are so many skills that I would like to learn but haven't yet. I feel like maybe everybody feels like this about their parents, and specifically about my mum. I just feel like she always knows what to do, and that to me is an invaluable skill to have, just to always know what to do. And my mum has always said that about her dad, so my granddad, that if you're ever stranded on a desert island somewhere, who would you want with you? And my mum always said her dad, because I feel like that about my mum, and I think it would be detrimental to anybody's survival if they thought that about me, because I am not the person you want on a desert island if you're stranded there. Don't pick
You're
me.
Gonna keep the positivity or we're gonna die.
Yeah, don't pick me. And also, I don't want to be there, so definitely don't pick me. Like, do you hate me? What?
I love the honesty. I love the honesty. Do not
That's why we're
me.
inviting you.
Not coming.
Yeah, I'm not coming. And even if I do, we're both doomed. So it's not a good idea.
But we're gonna laugh a lot in the process. I'm just saying.
I love that. That's the best. Okay. What's your favourite sporting event? Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like it would be a lie to say I have a favorite sporting event. That would not be truthful. I mean, probably the most fun I've had in relation to sports has been any hockey game that I've ever attended. And honestly, I didn't really know what was going on. I just knew there was a lot of fighting, and it felt like very drama filled. So I was there for that. And I could understand that part. There was just a lot of screaming. But aside from that, I don't know. I used to enjoy playing rugby when my brother played rugby, because I would play with all his rugby team, especially when they went away and they would play away games. We would be away for the weekend, and there was a lot of downtime in which we would play rugby. And I was not on the team, so that was the only point that I was allowed on the field. And I loved it. They did not love it so much. I was quite feisty, but but I thought it was great.
That must be the red hair. That must
Haven't lost a game yet, so.
I was thinking, I mean, she's Welsh. I mean, come on, there's got to be something. It has to be rugby.
Got to be
it's
rugby.
It's national sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
No. So if you could travel in time, what era would you want to travel to?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like if I could travel in time, I would probably travel to the future at some point, because there's just a lot that I would like to know. That could actually, what do they say, damage the space-time continuum?
Yes.
Or like it, there would be some catastrophe, or, you'd go back in time, people would have 4 eyes and like 3 ears, and like you've like done something that cannot be undone. But I guess I would just go far enough forward in time to know that everything is going to work out. I think, so far I feel like things are heading in the right direction, and I'm happier than I've ever been and closer to so many stars that I've always wanted to reach. But it is hard being 4,000 miles away from my parents, and that is the part that I question the most. So if I could go far enough into the future where I knew that we would be reunited, and we would be reunited in Nashville, and the family would be back together, then I think I would be able to stop overthinking about that, which is not fun.
No, I can imagine it's going to be difficult. That has to be difficult.
Yeah.
It really does. Cool.
It's wrong that I didn't tell a joke there.
No,
No, it's okay.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong.
I just think we could have two Caitlin Mays running around if you went to the future.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Two of them. We wouldn't know who
It
we're
would be
talking
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That would be
I'll
nice.
invite both to
Right?
Desert Island, just so you know.
I always used to say to my parents, I don't understand the need to sleep, which obviously was a nightmare for them. But why? It's
Sorry,
like a waste
Mom.
of time. There is so much more I could do in those 8 hours that I'm sleeping, wasting time. I can't sleep anyway. I may as well be up. And imagine with 2 Caitlin Mays, we could take shifts.
Oh my gosh.
You know, there would just never be a moment where people would get a break.
Okay, oh, could you imagine it? Your fans would be like, yeah. You'd be like buzzing. You'll be bouncing off the wall. That's quite funny.
Oh gosh.
If you could write with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh. If I could write with anybody, that's really hard. I think probably I haven't really thought about writing with anybody who is not here with us anymore. So I almost feel like I don't have an answer for that. But there are so many people still with us and thriving right now that like, for example, I love Noah Kahn at the moment. His writing style is so great. And it would be a dream to write with him, to co-write. And then maybe even I don't want to say her name wrong, but I've been loving her songs lately. And my mouse is not cooperating with me, so I can't check.
I love it. You gotta love mice. They never cooperate.
Exactly. It's always a mouse.
Do you have to charge that one? Just checking.
I hope not. Maybe that would be why.
You haven't charged a mouse.
That's why. Okay, so I was right. It's Patty Griffin. I love all of her songs that I've heard, but I just love her writing style too. She's amazing. So to write with her would be amazing.
Okay. It's out in the universe. We'll see if we can get her to do it.
Yeah. Manifest it.
Yes. So if you could be fluent in any language without studying or practicing, what would you choose?
I would instantly choose Spanish because I've always wanted to learn Spanish, and I feel like I almost need something to happen that like forces me to do it. Like a point where I'm like, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it, because that was actually how I learned to play guitar. It felt like an immense amount of pressure because COVID happened, and if I didn't learn then, I really thought we'll never have more time on our hands than right now. So this is the moment to do it. And then again with Spanish, my grandparents live in Spain and we visit Spain as often as we can. We used to visit a lot more than we do now. But it's heavily spoken in many places around the world. And I'd love to be able to have a conversation with somebody without hoping or expecting them to be fluent in English.
It's pretty cool.
I like that. Okay, if your life was a reality show, what would it be called?
Oh my gosh. I feel like there are endless possibilities. I really feel like it would be something like Caitlin's catastrophe or like chaos with Caitlin Mae, and it was just something crazy.
Chaos with Caitlin Mae.
Yeah,
I like that.
chaos with Caitlin Mae. Or even, I mean, this one is a little more wrote a book about my brother and published it. And she never wrote a book about me, which I was quite heavily offended by. And I just said, when are you going to write a book about me? And she said, I'm on it, it's going to be called Caitlin and the Can of Soup. And I thought, my brother's book was so heart-wrenching and like such a journey to be followed. I felt like, how many pages can Caitlin and the Can of Soup be? So it's almost like my reality TV show would be something like that.
Caitlin and the Can of Soup. Now I want to read that book. What did you
have to do it?
Yeah. Which actually now will lead into, if you had a personal mascot, what would your mascot be?
Oh my! Well, it would be a can of soup.
Yeah, soup.
What flavour soup though? What flavour soup?
Oh, not tomato. That's too basic. It would be.
And Caitlin's not basic.
No. I don't see a chicken noodle coming either here. I see something,
I think
like
it would
Spanish
have to be
tortilla rice or something. I don't know.
It would have to be something with a little spice. I love spicy foods.
Mulligatawny or something.
Yeah, and I love mulligatawny. Such a good soup. Yeah, maybe that would be
Japanese ramen.
Oh,
spicy.
yes.
Lots of little stuff in it, vegetables, and yeah.
Yes, yeah. That sounds perfect.
I love it.
I have to have like my own line of soup now. That's got to be something.
Yeah, there you go. That would be cool. We need to manifest that as well. We can start saying, look, we're eating Caitlin soup.
Yeah, everybody else, they have like makeup lines or clothing lines. I have a line of soup.
Yeah, soup's good for you. You know what I mean? When you're sick, we'll think
Exactly.
of
Just Caitlin and a can of soup. That's all you need.
And we'll be fit as healthy. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Which artist would you love to do a duet with?
Again, I think it would probably be Noah Khan or Kelsey Ballerini. But I also really love Luke Combs. But I just think Noah's style of writing, it would be so cool to write a song together and then collaborate and go and play it live and be on tour. And so Noah is definitely up there.
Awesome. That'd be cool.
So if you were a pizza topping and not a can of soup, what pizza topping would you be?
Oh. So I have a new favorite pizza I guess it's a pizza place that they have everywhere. I'm not sure, but they have one close to Nashville called Mellow Mushroom. And but the pizza topping of choice would not be mushroom. It would be something on my favorite pizza. So it's like a buffalo chicken, but I replace the bacon, because they have bacon on there, with pepperoni. So I feel like my pizza is never complete without pepperoni. So it would either be pepperoni or if we're including sauces in our toppings, then it would be buffalo or Thai sweet chili.
Nice.
Mellow Mushroom has great pizza, by the way. That was free publicity for Mellow Mushroom. You're welcome.
Yeah, like sponsor me. Free pizzas for life. That
that was a free pizza. You don't even need to pay us.
We'll just do free pizza.
That's a very serious question for me. I feel like the answer has to be accurate.
I love that. I love how to take
Food is serious.
Yeah.
It is so
Very serious.
Android or Apple?
Definitely Apple. I guess I went over to the dark side years ago, and I've never gone back. I love Apple, and although I could not work like an Apple Mac, so I'd always done like Windows and then I had a Mac for the first time and was so confused. I'm still confused, except now I've been using it long enough to be confused on Windows, but still not long enough to be. So I'm just confused in general at this point.
That's going to be a title of your next song, Confused.
Yeah, confused.
Yes.
Confused.
Very. Yeah. That could also be the reality TV show, Confused.
I love it.
If you were in witness protection program, what new identity would you create?
Okay, so new identity in as much as like name and new profession.
What kind of like new profession, maybe? Because you probably couldn't be a singer then, right? Like you'd be out there and someone would recognize you, I'm guessing. So what would you? Okay, so let me rephrase the question. If you're a witness for protection, what would you do for a living?
Ooh.
So hard, because I also feel like if I chose my second, like my next profession of choice, it probably also would not work, or it would just defeat the point, the purpose. Because if I wasn't a singer-songwriter, then I would want to be a spy. And
that
then
might work though. That might work.
So, yeah, and then I'm like, if I'm a worry about myself and not need to be in witness protection. But I suppose often they do need to be at some point, or if they choose to retire and things go wrong. But yeah, a spy. That's
I love
cool.
it. I love it.
I've always wanted to be a spy, or then I became a big fan of Arrow and The Flash and DC Legends. So I thought, well, if all else fails, I'll be a vigilante. So they go hand in hand. It's the same training, basically.
Yeah. It's the same theory there, isn't there? I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you owned a bar, what would you call it?
If I owned a bar, I think I would either. This has got me like scratching my head. I would either name it after the name of my first pig, which I do not own yet, so Boss Hog, or Boss Hog, or I suppose this could also be a great time to utilize Confused by Caitlin Mae, because anytime somebody says, "Can I buy you a drink?" I typically say no, because I have no idea what I would ask for. Like, I don't really have a go-to drink. And if I say yes, I feel dumb shortly after, because again, they'll ask you what you want to drink. And I'm like, what do I want to drink? Is the question. Like, I don't know. You tell me.
That's probably not the best answer. I love that.
Like, I've actually had to just get the menu, and people look at me like, you need a menu for why? I don't know.
I don't drink.
I always say I'll take the weakest and sweetest thing on the menu, because if it could pass as a mocktail, then yes, I'll take it. Mocktails are usually my favorite. No alcohol, and they're sweet, and I love them. It would be, maybe my bar would be a mocktail bar.
A mocktail bar, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go. It could be like an AA bar, like Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, you get mocktails, you can still have socializing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Music. See?
Yep.
Yeah. Minus
we have a whole theme.
Yeah, minus the cleanup on aisle 5. It's perfect.
That is funny.
So, what is the worst place to hide a dead body?
Probably be in plain sight, I assume. Probably be the worst place. Yeah, I guess that would be the worst place.
On the doorstep of the police station.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. With a note, you know.
It wasn't me.
Yeah,
It wasn't me. Just drop me off the body.
I forgot to wear gloves. Do not fingerprint. You know, like,
I found a dead body and brought it to you. You're welcome.
yeah. Half the job is done. Like,
Now find me.
yeah, the best game of hide and seek. The highest stakes.
I love that. That is so cool. Okay, so now that you've moved to the States, what is your favorite guilty pleasure food?
Did you say guilty pleasure food?
Yeah.
I thought you said boots. I was like, oh, boots. We're talking about boots.
Oh my God, no.
So exciting.
They're everywhere. How many boots? How many do you want me to go through?
I have so many boots. It's unbelievable. I can't even. But my favorite guilty pleasure food would be, I know I have many. It would probably be, it's something more on the sweet side of things. I have become obsessed with like snow cones or shaved ice. I guess that there is a slight difference between the two. I think the one that I get is a snow cone, and I love it. I'll always get a large, even in the winter when it's freezing cold. And like when it was snowing in January, I think I went as soon as they opened back up and got a snow cone. And I'll be and people, are you okay? Yes. Like, you know, it's an obsession when you can't let it be even when it's bad for you. And I get it. Like, I dress it up so I have cotton candy on top and a cherry, and if I'm cheeky enough to ask, multiple cherries on top. And it's my go-to flavor is pina colada, half pina colada and half, it's on the tip of my tongue, butterscotch. Half butterscotch, half pina colada, and it is the best.
On my next trip to Nashville, we're gonna have to go get some snow cones now.
Yes, yes. And the place is called Cotton and Snow, I think. And so I either have to go downtown because it's in Assembly Food Court or Assembly Food Hall, or I have to pretend that I'm going to play a game of mini golf because they have it at the mini golf place. I never play the mini golf. I just reward.
I love that. That is very cool. That is very cool.
So tell us something. Actually, no, that was my question. Sorry.
Okay.
Should toilet paper hang over or under?
Over every time. I can't do the under. If I put it on wrong, I have to rectify the mistake. It doesn't feel right.
With you on that one. Definitely with
We
you
can
on
be
that
friends
one.
forever now.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. I was touch
Okay,
and
my
go
last
before that
question.
question.
If you were an animal, what would you be?
I don't think I've ever had like this be my answer before. Or maybe I have once, but I really feel like I'd probably be a wolf. Yeah, like hopefully leader of the pack, but if not, then a lone wolf works too. Either way, I'm comfortable in my wolf skin.
I love it.
Last crazy question. Tell me, if we were disposing of evidence, would we do it in the forest or in a lake, and why?
Oh. I'm trying, I feel like the correct answer would be a lake. But that could be wrong. And really, like, it depends what the evidence is, I suppose. But the best answer would be anywhere where there are pigs, since they can dispose of evidence very well. So, you know, I guess if it couldn't be pigs, then I guess a lake. My answer is always pigs.
Always pigs. Always pigs. Always pigs. If you get your own pig, then we're sorted, aren't we?
Yeah, if you get a pig, then all your questions have been answered. So
yeah, we're sorted. All pigs are done. I love it. That's very good.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you on, Miss Caitlin.
It's been so much fun.
Absolutely. We'll have to get some new questions next time you come on.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I love it.
Even more crazy questions.
Yes.
This is my favorite thing. I love doing this. It's so outside of the box. Like, you don't have to answer all the same. Promote a single or promote a tour or whatever it is that you're doing at the time. But then to have these questions where people get to know you more personally, it makes it.
That's cool. You know what? Next time, you bring the 20 questions and we'll answer.
Oh, yeah, that would be so much fun. I would love that.
I think we're going to do it. Season 6. We'll do that for season 6.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They need to bring 20 crazy questions.
Yeah, I'm going to start writing my questions.
I think we're in trouble.
They're going to be so out there, like so far-fetched.
We're never going to be able to answer these.
They're going to be like, what? What is this?
That is fun. I love it.
Oh my
It's
god.
been a pleasure having you. And thank you, friends, for joining us for another episode. We'll see you next time. And if you haven't caught the full interview, go check it out now. See you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.